this is Karin, and we are at home with us from Herd Realty, and we just wanted to come and talk to you today about the importance of finding a good realtor. Obviously, a good realtor will help you get the best price on a home, the best home for you, and give you as much information as you need. But Karin, what should people look for when it comes to finding a good realtor?
One who they can trust.
Yes.
And because they have integrity.
Okay, yes, very important. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite stories is one of our clients, a young man. He was looking to flip what was a small church into a home, and we were concerned that he was probably getting into more than he realized, and we actually took the time to get a contractor out there to go over it with them to see if it was feasible, and turned out it wasn't. We saved him a lot of headache and money, and so that's how we are. We'll look at all the pros and cons, and if we think something may not work or there's some concerns we have, we'll give them to you, even if that means we got to move on to the next home. So yes, and very important. Karin, what else should people be looking at?
On the market, constantly tracking sales. I am.
Yes.
And the trends in the inventory. Every day I pretty much go and see what's selling above, what's selling under, how many new listings we have, how many listings have been withdrawn. And I just keep a daily track on that, so you're not overpaying for a home or underpaying.
Yes, we want to make sure we are able to give you the best advice on what to offer. But, we also look at the bigger picture, too. It's not just the local market that we need to be aware of. It's what's happening in the national market, the trends that we're seeing across the nation. And then things like what's the inflation rate like, because that drives the interest rate. So we look at all that, both local and national. And then we also partake in some mastermind groups. And these are groups of other realtors that share ideas and tips, and also what they're seeing in their markets that may impact us here in our local market. So, Karin, what else is important?
A realtor who communicates effectively and is timely with their response to the client and also the listing agent or the buyer's agent, whichever the case may be. Communication is a very big deal.
Yes, it is, and we try to be proactive too. Sometimes when you're working through a project or a deal, there may be periods where nothing's going on, but we still like to communicate, to let those folks know that everything is going well, that there's no news, which is probably good news. And so communication is very important. It's both to the client, but also to other agents that are involved, and not just other agents, but lenders and inspectors and whatnot. So communication's big. Karin, I think the other thing that is important for people to know when they're selecting an agent is a lot of agents are volume driven, but to the
Very
cost
much so.
of being client driven. Tell us about that.
So if you have a realtor that's all about the numbers and it looks good on paper, a lot of times it's hard to get to communicate with them. It's hard to get them to respond, to even open up your offer if you have an offer on the table.
Yeah, we had that
for
happen
them.
to us one time,
Yeah.
didn't we? They
Yeah,
didn't
and
even
it's
look at
very
the offer we
discouraging.
sent.
And there's not much you can do once they have accepted another offer, but it's very important to have someone that actually listens, that cares about you.
Yeah, I kind of look at it this way. Karin, sometimes you go to a doctor and everybody in town will tell you, hey, that's the best doctor to go to. And then you go in there, the office is busy, he's running behind, and you have all these questions you want to ask him, and he's supposedly the best doctor with the most skills. But you go in there and you only have a chance to maybe ask one or two of your questions, and time is up. And so what good is it to have all the skills and experience if you can't apply them? So we try to keep a good balance so that when we are dealing with our clients, we can apply all the skills and experience we have to you, the client. You deserve it. And we want to make sure that we balance that. And I think that's shown up, the fact that we're constantly getting referrals from our past clients. And even we've had some
Yes.
repeat clients.
Yes.
So Karin, what else is important when it comes to finding a good realtor?
Skills at negotiating, and it's not generally just the price, but it's utilizing of all factors that could help beyond the price.
Yes, sometimes we got to be creative, and it's also looking at the full picture. There's a few different times during the process of buying a home that you're going to negotiate. It's not just the contract price, but it's also often the inspection and even the appraisal. So we look at the full picture, and we try to keep the maximum leverage for our client so that it helps throughout the process, not just at key times. And then also, I think it's important to have a realtor that can apply problem solving skills, because sometimes solutions are there to make a deal work, but you have to dig for it. It's another thing that's important for people to look for.
To have a good network and also a good broker that you have to provide some skill sets they have, because they've been doing it a lot longer. And where we're at with Pam and Ben, they are awesome. You can call them at any time of day, and one of them answers the phone.
Yes, it is important to have people fall back on. Listen, this is not a solo sport. No matter how good of an agent is, how much experience they've had, sometimes you need to bounce some ideas off of other people. And it may be more than a broker, maybe more than a real estate agent. So one other thing that we have done, we built some relationships with lenders and with inspectors and title companies. We've built them to the point where we have a lot of their personal cell phone numbers. So if we are stuck somewhere, or we have a question that pertains to something outside of real estate, but it applies, so title expenses or a lending question or something like that, we can reach out to them and we can get the answers usually pretty quickly in order to take care of a problem you might be experiencing in getting your home. So that really brings us down to the end. Karin, what is the bottom line with us?
Is that when you get us, it's really at home with us, because we really treat you like family. And that's where our tagline came in at. And I think that we do for the client as we would have done to us.
Yes, we want you to be at home with us, and that means being comfortable with us. We want you to like us, enjoy our style of doing business, our integrity. We also want you to be confident in us and gain trust in our abilities, our skills. There is two of us again, so it's wonderful, because sometimes I don't see things Karin sees, and vice versa. And then finally, I think, and this also segues with two of us, what's another factor that we want to bring to people, Karin?
To understand that if you're a client and you have a question, don't hesitate to ask.
Yes.
We're always here.
We want you to feel comfortable with how we communicate to you. So, Karin, really it comes down to this. It starts with a conversation, and it's a free conversation. All you have to do is reach out to us, call us, text us, email us, and say, hey, I'd like to just talk to you about our real estate needs. So that is free. We don't cost you anything to come out and talk to you. But in the end, it could end up being priceless.
Exactly.
So reach out to us today, and so that you can see if you can feel at home with us as well. Take care.
Have a great day.